Your Northern Arizona Wranglers fall to 0-2 on the young 2025 season. James Poovey alongside my broadcast partner, Mr. Ed Cole. The Wranglers fall tonight to the Bay Area Panthers by the final score of 50-28. A number of opportunities for the Wranglers to stay in the ball game. There was a number of times, Ed, there where they were in the ball game and knocking on the door there a couple times, but unfortunately weren't able to get stops when they needed them, and ultimately the Bay Area Panthers came out with a huge victory.
And JP, some of the things we always talk about, it's about the final 4 minutes of the first half and the first 4 minutes of the second half. And You saw a good start by Northern Arizona. They drove down the field. Marvin Kinsey got his first receiving touchdown of the season, his fourth touchdown of the season overall. Yeah, this guy's going to be a difference maker offensively for the Northern Arizona Wranglers, right, JP? So they got close. It was 22-14, and then they got some defensive stops. We'll run some highlights if you want to go ahead and run those, JP, as we're talking about it. But, yeah, they got to within 8, 22-14, and then Joshua Tomas gets another touchdown. They go up 15 as we see the touchdown right there by Kinsey to start the second half. They get a little bit closer right there. But it's just so tough when you're behind, JP, and you get stops, but eventually Josh Jones and that Bay Area offense, they get down the field. We get the stop right there by Umanakwe. Chize Umanakwe. Did I pronounce his name right, JP?
Chize Umanakwe. That's
Chize
correct.
Umanakwe. Good stop right there. But here we go with Joshua Tomas with a touchdown run there. Puts them up 29-14 with the Axel Perez extra point.
And that was a beast mode run right there by Tomas. No doubt about it. Mm-hmm. We have ourselves a dude in 28, Marvin Kinsey Jr., and there you see Elder doing David Elder type things right there, running over Axel Perez.
Right.
And, you saw Perez stick his nose in there and get a little bit of that David Elder. I'm sure he might have gotten a little bit of that last season as well there in Prescott Valley. And then Elder with a nice touchdown run there as he cut it back up inside. And Elder has a nose for that end zone.
Yep, as they said on the broadcast, it's just so fitting that David Elder would start the drive off with the kickoff return and then end it with a touchdown run, right, JP?
No doubt about it. And then Josh Jones just continues to go back to work here. You see him just eluding a lot of the Wranglers defense and doing a great job there as well, falling forward.
Yeah,
Josh Jones getting deep into Wranglers territory right there.
That's what he does, and he gets the pitch again. Is that Tomas again, I believe, on the touchdown run right there?
That was Tomas once more there. Getting himself into the end zone. And you look at it right there, Ed, it was a 9-point ball game there early in that fourth quarter. But then Bay Area started slowly pulling away with things there in that fourth quarter and ultimately coming out with a win.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was a really good kickoff return by Elder again. But then you see here that Fouché picks off C.J. Fowler again, his second pick six of the game. That Fowler threw. That is a no-no in the Indoor Football League, especially against the Bay Area Panthers. You cannot throw any interceptions, let alone 2 pick sixes.
And then you see the ever-athletic Coach Rob Keefe there with the expeditious back pedal there on that touchdown.
Yes.
Stuff we're definitely used to seeing from Coach Keefe. And then C.J. Fowler goes down for a sack there, courtesy of Grant. And
Tavon Grant
they were able to get pressure off the edge all night was Bay Area.
Yeah, 2 fourth-quarter sacks for Tavon Grant. But you saw some flashes from C.J. Fowler right here. You saw him with 2 big runs. This was his biggest run of the night. So there are flashes from C.J. Fowler. But going up against this Bay Area, look at that defense right there. That's Tavon Grant. Again, him and Ross converging to get C.J. Fowler. It's tough when you got a defense, a championship caliber defense. They look like it. And then you get Chambers again getting into the end zone again. Tyrese Chambers. They have so many weapons in Bay Area, JP. It's unbelievable. You never know where it's coming from Rob Keefe's team.
You sure don't. And they were able to play really well tonight against the Wranglers. They were fired up. The home crowd was into it. And Coach Keefe and Coach Moss getting a big win out there tonight in San Jose, California, 50-28 over your Northern Arizona Wranglers. We'll take a quick commercial timeout, come back and return with more of the postgame show and look ahead to next week's matchup as we host the Tucson Sugar Skulls on Easter weekend for Faith and Family Night. Stay with us. We'll be right back with more of the postgame show right here on the Wranglers YouTube channel.
Every body is different. Some get injured, while others wear down. At Ortho Arizona, your unique condition is at the center of what we do. With over 20 locations and 70 physicians in the Valley, we offer orthopedic procedures, therapy, and athletic performance for the most important reason of all, getting you back to an active, pain-free life. Ortho Arizona. your destination for quality orthopedic care since 1994.
We welcome you back to the Northern Arizona Wranglers post-game show. James Spoovy alongside my broadcast partner, Ed Cole. Ed, it was exciting being the only IFL show in town on a Sunday here, but unfortunately the Wranglers not able to come up with a victory, and they will head home and begin preparations for a showdown next week, an in-state showdown against the Tucson Sugar Skulls. We'll have that game for you live from the Findlay Toyota Center next Saturday night. We'll be on the air at 5:30 p.m. with the pregame show, and that one will kick off at 6:05 p.m.
Yeah, that'll be another tough one. We'll get Marvin Kinsey during the week to get to talk about him, the big game he had again today against Bay Area, and just the season he's having. I can't wait to talk to that young man. We'll have that for you for the pregame show on Saturday with Tucson coming in town. But again, another rivalry game, another big game, JP, especially an in-state rival. The next 2 weeks, obviously Tucson, and then we'll go take on the Arizona Rattlers the week after down in Glendale at Desert Diamond Arena. That's going to be a tough one. And then they go to Vegas the week after, and then they're in the midst of a 3-game road trip after the Tucson game, Arizona, Vegas, and then San Diego. So it gets no easier for the Northern Arizona Wranglers. So they cannot afford, as JP and I were talking before we came on here, they cannot afford to go 0-3 with a loss to Tucson. They've got to find a way to get back to Prescott Valley, get back, watch that film, get some practices in, and get a really good game against Tucson and get that first victory.
Yeah, no doubt they got to come out all guns blazing next Saturday night inside the Findlay Toyota Center as Tucson comes to town. No slouches either under Coach Billy Back. He really knows how to get a football team prepared, and it should be a great matchup next Saturday night. And as you mentioned, it would be traumatic for the Wranglers to go 0-3 to start the 2025 season, because that would be a huge hole to try to climb out of. But I have faith in this football team that they can turn things around next week and get in the win column.
Oh, yeah. Like you said, JP, there were quite a few bright spots. I like what I saw in bits and spurts from CJ Fowler with his running game, but he's got to get the passing together. Again, granted, he went up against arguably the best defense in the indoor football league outside of a few in Bay Area. But with his running attack, he's got to find a way to get more accurate with his throws, JP. But Marvin Kinsey Jr., that is a find. Number 28 is solid in the backfield. You saw some really good stuff from David Elder in the second half, especially with his kickoff returns. He got in the end zone, first touchdown of the season for him, from his first rushing touchdown of the season, and some really good spots from the defense. But 2 pick sixes, 3 interceptions overall, and just they've got to find a way to clean that offense up, JP, because they were just out of sync for pretty much the entirety of the game, outside of that 14-point swing they got in the third quarter, which looked really good. So the bright spots are there. The lights just have to get bigger with those bright spots.
And those lights will continue to get bigger week after week. You mentioned it. We got Tucson at home next week, and that'll be a nice little tune-up to go back down to the Valley of the Sun and face the Arizona Rattlers inside Desert Diamond Arena in Glendale, the defending IFL national champion. So Wranglers looking to right the ship next week in practices and get ready for Tucson next Saturday night. We'll have that game for you once again on the IFL network. Pre-game show will be on the air at 5:30 p.m. We'll be field level from inside the Findlay Toyota Center, and that one will kick off at 6:05 p.m. For my broadcast partner, Mr. Ed Cole, I'm James Spoovy saying so long. Have a great rest of your night. Enjoy the few hours that we have left in the weekend, and we will see you next Saturday night inside the Findlay Toyota Center when the Wranglers host the Tucson Sugar Skulls. Have a great night, folks.
And go Wranglers.